The Smirska's back in. Hey, let's go. The guy's just charging out. No stealth needed. I love the classic lick he's got going on. Vanishing out as Rick, backing up out of there, just letting him kind of run circles, and Summon keeping him out. And you open still. Mortical immediately connects. Gouge to trade. The Smirska taking a lot of damage. Cloak of Shadows still taking a lot of physical damage. DFA to reconnect with yet another cheap shot. Axtos, however, does shut him down with yet another fear. I don't know if Rick is giving the Smirska any opportunity to recover. Does have one more Vanish. As long as he doesn't have dots, might be okay. Vanish? Is he gonna go for a reset? I don't think he wants to. I don't think he wants to, dude. I think his mid is out for blood. Cheap shot in a super DR'd, however. He does have evasion. I don't know if he will use it. Probably wants to. I don't know if he's probably thinking, what am I gonna do evasion versus a Warlock? But those pets do physical damage. There's enough physicality where it's gonna be rough. And like Doom Guard, there's just nothing he can do. This Smirska just absolutely clobbered from even the angle from all the mini bolts, man. Man. Arakar. Wait. Jericho burn people for booming form? That would actually be sick, but they're not necessarily like that would look cool, but I just can't imagine it still. Just because the Arakoa are their own people. Imagine it's like hold on. Barrel down with a full rapid fire. Dude, it'll be just like, imagine if a gnome became a druid, right? And it's like he went cat form and he becomes a night elf. That'll be what that would essentially be. Because the Arakoa are not a beast. They're a humanoid. Just a bird humanoid. You know what I mean? I get the idea. It's kind of like Zandalari and the chicken form that they get, right? I like that. But that's like a night elf trying to become a feral, or a gnome trying to go feral form and he becomes a night elf. You know what I mean? It's like, at least in my brain, that would make sense. Oh, Saberon. Wait, actually, yo, if they did add Magar druids, sorry, if you're watching this duel and you're like, what the hell is happening? I've been having a tangent with the chat of like, what other races should they add for druids? And they were like, what about Maga Orc? And I'm like, I couldn't see it. However, adding Saberon for Maga Orcs would be sick. You know what? I approve of that one. Mortical sent in onto Barrel. As I got a couple of hand gul'dans maybe around the corner. Barrel got himself a bit of defenses. He needs so much more damage to break through the defenses of Rick, but he just does not have the health to do it. And Rick is able to run him out in circles around the pillar until he's out. Melkor joins back in. Oh my goodness, Melkor. I love how we get all the people that are blast from the past. Smirska and Melkor is back in, dude. What is happening? That is so good. I love it. Melkor does have mobility. Nova onto all these pets. He technically has a lot of cooldowns ready. It is going to get locked out of Frost. That is unfortunate. I don't know how he's got an interrupt while he was still stunned. I am not sure how that happened. I think he probably human racial, but the game kind of had a bit of a delay. Tried to go for a knock into Rick, but he just glides away from Mortical onto Melkor. Melkor, he does get himself opportunity to go for a setup. That is going to be a full set of pets. Does have something defensive though. Without altar, breath onto Rick, Paladin right after. As long as the pets can stop his cast, he might be able to get some damage out. Is gonna go for missiles onto the tyrant just to get himself a proc. Axe toss as he tries to go for a little bit of that shifting power. Knock back on all these pets. As long as he gives him a shield and has himself a go, try to see if he closes the gap with Rick. At some point, he's just gonna have to go for full cooldowns. I feel like he's gonna have to use one of these pets to enable a surge of power. He's just gonna have to hit him with a burst. Just to get himself the buff, and then go for Touch of the Magi. Does have the blinks available, as well as Ice Block in case he ever needs it. A Canosphere for a second, that should do decent damage when it connects with Rick. Touch of the Magi as well, maybe a block here. That is a block. That is a lot of pets to block. Gold, full Chaos Mother and a Doom Guard is not great. That is just not great place to be in. With a Fiend attacking immediately and Mortical as soon as you come out. As soon as you land a blink too, which is unfortunate, does get himself a bit of a reset. Evo right after needs to Nova these pets and get the hell away from them. Needs to find a way to get himself a line of sight for Rick. Got himself a massive, gorgeous cascade of missiles versus Rick, but that's just way too much damage. Rick continuing just to punish these boys over and over and over. That is so rough, man. Rick holding the fort, however, he's been doing pretty good so far, man. Saya got himself a couple of dots onto all these pets. Wake of Ashes too does avoid getting himself hit with a reflect stun onto himself while Nether Ward was up for Rick. As he's having to rotate for even more defenses, does go for a trinket. Axos on Josiah. May just need to fierce spam him while he's getting himself the entire army of pets. And a Gul'dan. Tyrant potentially. Does go for the Tyrant. That is also going to be Chaos Mode. All these pets are in. Blind on these pets. Does also hit Rick with a blind, but at least he's able to get away here. Knocking Saya back a bit. As long as he's within range of the pets, they're going to do a lot of damage. And as less Saya can escape all these pets, that's a lot of raw damage he can't stop. Lay on hands, but immediately look at his health bar. It's just not really living up to expectations here. Immediately, as soon as he got himself in a nice stable position, he's back in the danger zone. Stun onto Rick, did not himself reflect, unfortunately. Axe toss to trade with Saya. Does he bubble? He has the bubble and continues. There goes the bubble. Now you just want to go for as much damage as possible. The Doomguard is play. Ports out for Rick. He just needs to keep Saya out in the open. Doomguard fades as the bubble fades. That is so unfortunate. I don't know if he have himself another gateway. He might not have the cooldown to use the gateway again. Dark Pact is available though. He needs to find himself a nice angle to be able to send more pets at Saya. He will need to get a CC rolling. Sanct ahead of time. Does get hit with a slow though. Massive slow into Saya, which is huge. Axos to Prime. Bob right after. Fear, but he does stop it. He can't actually stops a lot of the pet damage. This is all physical damage. He's not taking a lot of magic damage. Bop against the Warlock is a wild move. Technically, you can still get hit with things like Mortal Coil and Fear, but it is a great move. The Tyrant, however, is going to prolong all these pets, ripping the soul out of Saya, reducing his healing and damage. Axos to lock him. Is this enough? Rick with a big ruination. Is it enough? Saya trying to get himself as much healing as possible. Rick, does he close the gap? Another word is up. He knows how to set himself. Saya's in a rough spot though. Stun, but it doesn't matter. I think Saya does go down with the Doom proc at the end. And Rick does hold the fort. There's the last one left. Is he AFK? No, he's not. Giving Rick a chance here. Rick picking up the eyes immediately, though. He doesn't want to give Plush an opportunity. Plush charging in. Rick with a port. And if he can just avoid Plush as best as possible, he might be okay. He might have to wait until Plush cloaks to then trade an Axos with him. But he needs to stay away from Plush. That's all he can do. Stay away from Plush as best as possible. I don't think he has any dots on Plush, however. That was a gateway too. Dark Pact, right before he gets stoned. Trinket, Mortal Coil, Axos on a Trinket, Fear Spam into Plush. I think that's all he can do is Fear Spam. That's Shatter Blades. If you take any damage from Blades, you're going to be in a rough spot. You can also rip the soul out of Plush with a Tyrant. Get the hell out of dodge. Gotta stay away from him. Yet another Vanish. You're moreless. What a board! That is so perfect! Oh, Axos, however, is in play. Shadow Blaze is gone. Still lots of damage, though. Rick just gotta live this. I don't know how he can. Big DFA out of Plush. Plush is getting low. Cloak of Shadows. Isn't enough. Oh, he does survive it. Evasion with Cloak. Everything was used to live it. Oh, he knew he had to take out a Warlock no matter what. Natty is giving Plush at least a chance here to get a little bit of healing by the looks of it. But he's going to back up out of there immediately. Back it up out of there as soon as he can. He's got himself a... Renewal Blades. He's got himself a... Everything, actually. Full immunity to the damage of a rogue. And Plush is in a decent spot, but... Oh, not decent enough without cooldowns. Rick picking up 3? I think Rick picked up 4, didn't he? Or am I wrong about that? What a trooper giving a rogue a chance. Yeah, I know, right? It's a rogue. Probably shouldn't give him a chance ever.